Hey folks, I hope everybody's doing well on today. Someone suggested that I do a recording to talk about how I prepared for my prostate surgery. And I thought it was a good idea because there's some things that I did that probably other people didn't do or won't do or can't do. But what I did really helped me, and it might help the next person along, or at least give you some ideas and suggestions on things that you can do also. So to backtrack a little bit, in January of this year, during my annual physical, uh, my PSA numbers were a little bit out of alignment. And so fast forward to mid February, I met with the urologist, and he mentioned, yeah, the things look a little out of alignment. Basically, your check engine light is on. We need to investigate, find out what's really going on so that we can resolve the issue before it becomes a major issue. So in mid March, I had an MRI. The results of that MRI revealed that it did look like there was some cancer in the prostate. Um, Late March, I had a biopsy, a transperineal biopsy, and my understanding for prostate biopsies, there's two types that they can do. One is where, and the language is the language where they give you a local anesthetic, and they come through the rectum and take samples of the prostate that way. Mine was a transperineal biopsy where they had to give me a general anesthetic. I was in a hospital for outpatient surgery, and I'm really glad they put me to sleep because they took about 18 different samples or so, and it was an operation where they go through the perineum and poke holes, get the samples. After that biopsy, I had some bleeding, I think for a day or so, but out of my body. But when I would urinate or semen or whatever, it was blood in there for about a week. It wasn't much pain. It was just weird, because you don't expect to see blood like that. But I recovered from that fairly easily, I think. Then fast forward to early July. I'm about 6 weeks out from the time, 5.5, 6 weeks out from the time that I had my surgery. But there's some things that I did along the way that really helped make the surgery, I believe, a lot easier for me. The struggle was there, but I think the burden was less because of how I prepared myself. So back when I had the biopsy, just before the biopsy, I was introduced to Dr. Pryce, who's a naturopathic doctor. And I had a consultation with her, talked with her, and she talked about a lot of different things. But some of the things that stuck out is that, through her methods, through natural ways, we can look to impact the prostate where perhaps we wouldn't have to have the surgery if we can get the numbers to come down. But if that was the case, she would help me to prepare myself, prepare my body to be as strong as possible to make it through the surgery. And for me, I thought, well, I've seen people go through surgeries. I had never had surgery before that. That biopsy was the first surgery type of event that I had ever had. But I wanted to make myself as prepared as possible for a good outcome. So early April, I contracted with her. And some might ask, why did you contract with her? Well, in the state of Michigan, we are not allowed by law to use our healthcare insurance with naturopathic doctors. So I have to pay that out of pocket. So each month I pay her her fee that she requires, no problem. Made some financial adjustments in order to do that, but I thought it was necessary. So what Dr. Pryce did was help me to learn more about myself, in that we had some different tests that we did, blood tests, hair analysis for minerals, genome tracking and mapping and things of that nature. And I learned some really interesting things about, my body type. And she gave me a really detailed breakdown, for example, for diet, for foods that I should not eat, because for me, for my blood type, for my body type, for my chemical makeup, they will promote cancer in my body. Believe it or not, I should never eat whole grain wheat. Promotes cancer in my body. I should never eat black pepper. Promotes cancer in my body. Avocados, bananas. One of the things she warned against is even eating corn, popcorn, because corn in general causes inflammation in the body, and a lot of people don't know that. So one of my favorite snacks of all time has always been popcorn. My family would tell you I can eat popcorn every day, but I haven't had any since April. So it's something that I would really like to have, but I know that I can't. So it's just crossed off the list. So what I did was took that information that she gave me. She gave me some a write-up, but she also gave me an app for my phone that, for instance, if I'm in a grocery store, if I'm at a restaurant, if I'm at a family member's house and I'm going to eat, I can check the app and say, should I eat this or should I not eat this? Red light are things that do not eat. It's going to promote cancer in your body, or it's just not good for you. Yellow light is maybe you can have some, but don't have too much. Green light is just, have all you want. Is going to promote your body building itself up against cancer and just help keep you healthy. So I took that information and I went to work with it. And the long and short of it is, before surgery, like in the April timeframe, give or take the March timeframe to surgery in July, I lost 15 pounds, maybe 17 pounds in weight. My A1C went from a 6.6 to a 5.6, which was really great to go into surgery that way. And so it was just a lot of benefits. She prescribed some supplements that helped me get stronger, to help my body get prepared for the surgery. She suggested that I drink green tea every day, which I had never been a tea drinker, but guess what? I drink green tea every day because that promotes natural cancer fighting in all of us. So if you don't drink green tea, I suggest you do. It turns out the best green tea on the market is the green tea, the Kirkland brand, sold at Costco. Highly recommended. So I went and purchased that, and I drink that. But no avocados, no bananas, no things like that. It's just I can't eat some of the things that I really liked to eat previously, and that's fine. So that helped me get myself prepared. Another thing that I did was it was just in my spirit really strong that I have to be physically strong before the surgery as much as possible. So what I started to do, I made myself a regimen where two things, drinking water. I try to drink up to 100 ounces of water every day. And that was a little challenging at first, but after about a week, it wasn't a big problem. I just paced myself and I just drank the water. The other thing that I did was make sure that I was getting some cardio in regularly. And the third thing that I did physically was make sure that every single day without fail that I was getting push-ups in. I just felt my upper body had to be as strong as possible. And I didn't really want to deal with weights and things at the time. So I just opted for push-ups because that's a good way to work your overall body. It works so much of your body doing push-ups. I think I started out doing 30 a day, maybe 40 a day in April. But a few weeks out from the surgery, I was up to 100 a day, sometimes more. And, we're doing 4 sets of 25. Now, some might say, well, I can't do any push-ups. I can't do 100 push-ups. I understand that. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to tell you to be me, but I'm telling you to start somewhere and work on it. Start at some place where you at. If you can do one, then do that one, but do it very well. Do it right form. Take your time and make it count. And then build up to it. Before I got to doing sets of 25, I would do sets of 15, and until I got up to 100 or 105, and just do it that way. The good thing about something like that is you don't have to do them all at once. What I would do is if I would be going into a meeting at work, since I'm working out of my home office, I would do 25 and go into the meeting. And then an hour later, after that meeting was over, do another 25, then take a break because I was going into another meeting. And when that meeting was over, I might do 25. Or when that meeting was over, I just spread it out. My goal was to have those push-ups done before the end of my workday. So I woke up every day and said, you know what? I have a health bill to pay today. I have an exercise bill to pay. And that bill cost me 100 push-ups. Now, however I get them done, if I do them all at once or if I break them up and get them done throughout the day, long as I get them done by 5 o'clock, I'm good. And so that's what I did. So you can break them up, but your body is going to respond. And I'm so glad that I listened to the spirit that God put in me, and I did that. The reason I found out later that that was necessary for me to be as strong as possible is because after the surgery, when I came home from the hospital, the next day after surgery, my abdomen was so sore that it just couldn't move. I held an ice pack on my abdomen for at least 5 days straight, 24 hours a day, just about, because that was the only thing that soothed it. The Tylenol didn't soothe it that they gave me. The oxycodone that they gave me didn't soothe it. But the ice really helped. And so I kept the ice on it. So on my abdomen, I have 6 wounds from the surgery. 5 wounds that are maybe an inch across, a little less than an inch, and 1 wound that's about 4 inches across. And I can say that they're healing nicely now. It's been about 6 weeks out. I didn't think they would ever heal, but I could see the end coming near for that particular healing. What was so critical is when I came home, that catheter hurt so bad that I couldn't move left, I couldn't move right. It was just extremely painful for me. For you, the catheter might not hurt, but for me, it was extremely painful. So in order to get up out the chair with minimum movement, I would have to use my arms to lift myself up. In order to sit down, I'll have to use my arms to sit myself down so that the area, if you will, I wouldn't interrupt that catheter and cause myself more pain, and also for my abdomen. And so, that really helped me to prepare. So it was eating right, it was exercising, it was being diligent in my diet that got me all ready. And I remember my surgeon commenting when I came in for surgery, because when we first met in February, the urologist was like, you know what, I want you, this is a major surgery. It's going to take about 4 hours. You seem to be pretty athletic. I want you to make sure you do what you can to get yourself ready physically. And I didn't understand. That's all he said. But throughout the course as I was going through, I understood it more. And when I got to surgery, he said, you really listen. He said, a lot of people don't listen to what the doctor says and they don't do what the doctor asked them to do. And so they have more complications. He said, you lost a good portion of weight. You got your A1C in check. You look to be a lot more stronger than you were when I first met you. So I'm expecting good outcomes. And one of the things that helped, on the first night of surgery, surgery in the early part of the day, then I'm in the hospital bed. I was able to get up and start walking around the hospital, staying on my floor, of course, but walking around the hospital, albeit slow, you want to take it slow. But they were shocked that I was just like, I got to get out of this bed. They're like, well, we don't know that you're strong enough to walk. I said, let me just try. And when I tried, they're like, well, you've been walking for a while. And so I would sit down and just get up and walk some more. And they were really shocked that I was able to do that. And it's because of all the preparation. So that helped me start walking more, which is really good for your recovery. That also helped me start recovering a little more quicker as far as physically. And then there was a couple of other things, Dr. Pryce prescribed some supplements that have been really helpful for me. And I continue to take them, drink my green tea, take my supplements. And I do feel a lot stronger and I feel a lot better in my body overall. But it's 3 things that she recommended to me that I'm gonna share with you. And notice, I'm not a doctor. I'm not speaking for any doctors. I'm just giving you my experience because it might help somebody else. But talk to your own doctor. And I will put Dr. Pryce's information in the description section in case you want to reach out. And though you got any medical conditions, it doesn't have to be cancer. Reach out to her because she can help you make a plan that can change your life. I know mine has been changed. So it's 3 things that she prescribed for me. The first one, or not, that she told me to get, and I did get them. I was diligent in it. I don't know if this is going to show up well on the camera, but I'll put a link in the description. This one is called Arnica Montana, and it's a homeopathic medicine. But what this does is relieves muscle pain and stiffness, swelling from injuries, discoloration from bruising. This helps your body to heal from trauma. So as she described it to me, women have a mammogram, it's painful, it's trauma on the body. Arnica Montana can help the body heal from that. You get a sprained ankle, a bruised elbow, a bruise on your hip or leg or whatever. This can help promote healing in your body. So what she recommended I do is 4 days out before the surgery to start taking this. And you put 5 pellets under your tongue, let it dissolve a couple of times a day. And so she wanted it to get built up in my body so that when I do have the surgery, the trauma effect from the surgery would not be so significant on my body. So that was good. So I did that 4 days before the surgery. I started doing that. The next one that she recommended was phosphorus. And again, you might not be able to see this on the camera, but I'll put a link to where I purchased it at. Same thing, 5 pellets under the tongue. Now, phosphorus, what this does is a homeopathic medicine, and it relieves dizziness, it relieves headaches. The way it was explained to me is that this will help me come out of the anesthesia a lot quicker, a lot more clearly, and be more in my right mind a lot faster. And so as soon as I woke up, I told my wife, I gave it to her, said, as soon as you come into the recovery room, I need you to give me 5 of these, put them on, make sure I put them under my tongue. She came in the recovery room, she did just that. And I promise you, an hour later, I took another dose, but I started coming out of that anesthesia really fast. I was clear-headed. I was had my faculties, and even the nurses commented. They're like, "Wow, you're making sense. You don't look like you're groggy. You don't look like you're dizzy." And I just laughed about it because I didn't tell them what I was doing because I didn't want any issues with the hospital and their opinions, because sometimes the opinions of the MDs don't match up with the NDs. So I took the phosphorus, that really helped. And I continued to take this for like 3 or 4 days after, just to make sure there was no leftover effects from the anesthesia. I also kept taking the Arnica Montana, rotating between the phosphorus and the Arnica Montana, probably for maybe a week or so after the surgery. The third thing that she recommended was Staphysagria. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, so I'm gonna put the link in the description. But what this is a homeopathic medicine that relieves and promotes healing of surgical wounds. So what this did was help my wounds to start to heal, but it also stopped them from itching, because I had never had any surgical wounds. But the people that I know, because I'm the reverend, I visit people in the hospital, I pray for them, I sit with them, I talk with them, I encourage them. And I've seen people, their wounds are really itching, and you don't want to be scratching those wounds. My wounds did not scratch one time while I was taking this. So I took this maybe at least for a week after surgery. So rotating between the Arnica Montana, the Staphysagria, and the phosphorus. And that those things really, really helped me. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not professing to be, I'm just telling you what helped me get through. So I don't know if this information is helping anybody, but I hope it does. If I can just help one person, then I feel like, I've had a victory. I feel like, my work was successful. So if it's anybody in your life that can benefit from this information, share it with them. Like the video, subscribe so you can see the next videos that come out that I think are going to help somebody through this process. Subscribe, share, all of that. Most importantly, if you haven't been to the doctor to get your annual physical, I mean a full physical, full blood workup, your PSA checks, all of that, get it done. Men, please, I'm begging you, I beseech you therefore, brethren, get it done. Women, if you haven't had your annual physicals, your pap smears, your mammogram, get it done. Please, I'm begging you, it could save your life. I know those things are uncomfortable. I appreciate that, but it's necessary. I know you don't want to do it. And if it's people that's in your life that won't go get checked up, don't beat them up, because people withdraw more when you beat them up. But just encourage them. Maybe share these videos with them and give them some hope that they too can make it. I'm still on the road to recovery. It's still some adjustments my body is making, but I'm encouraged that on the other side of this, everything is going to be all right. I've come a mighty long way. I have a long way to go still, but I'm resting in the bosom of God right now. I know everything is going to be fine. So I just want to encourage you. If I can make it, you can make it. And for those of you out there that don't have anybody to help you through these kind of things, I might not be able to come physically see you, but if you leave a comment that you know you want prayer or whatever, you know, we'll link up somehow, even if it's on Zoom or whatever. You know, we'll link up somehow, email. We'll get together somehow and get you what you need. So until the next video, may God bless you all. May God keep you all. And I'm looking to hear great things. And I believe in my spirit of spirits that somebody out there is going to make it, because I'm making it as well. Be encouraged. Know that you're not alone. Know that if I can make it through this, you can make it through it too. God bless.